Hello and welcome back to Pharma E-Class. I am Ananda Goswami and we were discussing evaporation chapter. So in evaporation topic, we have discussed the basis of evaporation, the definition, the difference of the evaporation process with other heating processes like distillation, maybe crystallization, maybe drying, and we have seen what is the difference of the topic of this unit operation evaporation from the other heating processes, similar heating processes. Next, we have covered the mechanism and what are the factors in which the rate of the evaporation depends. So, we have seen the temperature, the vapor pressure and other allied factors are quite important. If we have to improve the rate of evaporation, we have to get a note on those factors also. Next, we had classified the evaporators into three basic types, that is natural circulation evaporator, then forced circulation evaporator, as well as the long tube or the climbing film evaporators. So in natural circulation evaporator, we have covered about the evaporating pans, evaporating steels and short tube evaporators. Now it is time for the long tube evaporators, which is also known as climbing film evaporators. So basically long tube evaporator, which is quite evident from the diagram also. In the short tube evaporator we had the calandria assembly, but the length was quite short. Here the same assembly is there, the calandria assembly, but it is in quite slender or quite length is the length is quite big, the length is quite it is quite proper, so it is named as a long tube evaporator. Now the long tube evaporators are classified into two basic types depending on the nature of the film which is obtained, on the climbing film type and the falling film type. First we'll cover climbing film type, then we'll go on to the falling film types. So come to the principle. The film evaporator spreads the material as a film over the heating surface and the vapor then escapes that film. So if we consider as the calandria part, so and if these are the tubes, so the liquid will come up through these tubes, that is, and it will be occurring as a film on those tubes. So subsequently, that is the beauty of this type of evaporators. Come to the construction. The heating unit consists of steam jacketed tubes. So these are the steam jackets, and in between these are the tubes, as very prominent in the short tube evaporators also. Having a length diameter ratio of 140 to 1, so that a large evaporator may have tubes 50 millimeters in diameter and about 7 meters in length. So let us see the diameter is to length ratio to length is quite higher. So 7 meters in length and around 50 millimeters in diameter. So you can see what is the point, what is the slender effect we are getting. Next, the liquor to be evaporated is introduced in the bottom of the tube. So this is the liquor inlet. Unlike in short evaporators, the liquor inlet was up. So this is the liquor inlet. So the liquor to be evaporated is introduced from the bottom of the tube, and a film of the liquid forms on the walls and rises up the tubes, and hence this is called as climbing film evaporator. So we have the steam inlet is here. So the steam jacket is containing the steams and they are making the tubes hot, and heat transfer is definitely occurring. But when liquor inlet is going and the vapor formation is occurring, then the film climbs through the tube and goes up. Here there the economy of the accumulation of the vapor which is going into the condensate head, and then it is going through the separation separator, cyclone separator or any other vapor separator. It can be connected to a vapor head, and we can get the liquid concentrate from here, and we can disconnect the vapor from the vapor head only. Next, at the upper end, the mixture of vapor and concentrated liquor enters this is the separator part, and the vapor passes to a condenser, and the concentrated liquid is collected from a receiver. So the vapor which is obtained here, it comes through the tangential into this particular head, the separator part. We have studied about separators in our previous chapters. So any type of separator, air and vapor separator we can take. and the vapor part goes, we can employ another pump, we can pull out the vapor, and its liquid part will come accumulated here and come through, and we can concentrate, we can collect the concentrated liquid in from this point only. So let us see what is the working of this particular short tube of this climbing film evaporators. The cold or preheated liquor is introduced into the tube, that is, this is figure 1, with the liquid has only been introduced. Next, heat is transferred to the liquor from the walls, that is the walls of the steam jacket, which was adjoining the tubes only. So tubes were slender and sleek, and steam jackets were quite sturdy and heavy. So when the liquid, this is at the point 1, just see the diagram. So at the diagram, the preheated liquor or liquid is introduced into the tube, and heat is transferred to the liquor from the walls, and the boiling begins, increasing its vigor. This is figure 2. So here the boiling begins, and let us say thus the minimum formation of the vapor is just started. Okay. Ultimately, sufficient vapor has been formed for the smaller bubbles to unite to larger bubbles, filling the width of the tube and trapping a slug of liquid above the bubble. So here there were smaller bubbles, and in this diagram 3, all the smaller bubbles have united to form a larger bubble, and it is also carrying a portion of the liquid, which is definitely rising up. So this is this level, this is this level, and see the level. So the film is being dragged upwards. Okay. As more vapor is formed, the slug of the liquid is blown up the tube, that is in diagram 4. See, small formation of vapors, large vapor, and then that film is going up. The film is dragged with the help of the air only. So the bubble, the air bubble or the vapor bubble is dragging the liquid, and it is obtained as a film. So the tube is filled with vapor while the liquid continues to vaporize rapidly, the vapor escaping the tube, and because of friction between the vapors and the liquid, the film is also dragged up the tube up to a distance of about around 5 to 6 meters, because the length of the tube was usually 7 meters approximately. Next, we have falling film evaporators, almost the same diagram, but the setup is somewhat different. Okay, so this is also long tube evaporator, but here we are getting the film in a falling way. So obviously the liquor inlet should be at the top. The liquor inlet is at the top. This is the steam inlet, and rest of that Alindria part is almost same. These are the steam jackets, and these are the slender tubes. So this is the steam inlet, and this is the steam outlet, and this is the condensate outlet, and here, because the film is coming down, so the liquor is connected here only, which is then going to the separator, and then the vapor part and the concentrated liquid part is separated. Let us see its construction. The heating unit consists of steam jacketed tubes having a length to diameter ratio of about 140 to 1, so as to form a large evaporator, and the tubes may have 50 millimeters in diameter and above around your 7 meters in length. Exactly that was for the climbing film evaporators. The liquor to be evaporated is introduced at the top of the evaporated tubes, and the liquor comes down due to gravity and nothing else. The concentrate and the vapor leaves the bottom, because it is quite easy. This is quite easier version of a long tube evaporator. So the concentrate and the vapor leaves the bottom. They are separated in a chamber. This is the chamber. This is the separating chamber. We have to connect it, where the concentrate is taken out through the product outlet, and the vapor to form the vapor outlet. Now come to the advantage and disadvantage of the long tube evaporators, both the falling as well as the climbing one. Come to the advantage. Advantage is in the fact that since the movement of the film is assisted by gravity, particularly for the falling film evaporators, so more viscous liquid can be handled by the falling film type of long tube evaporators. Next, very high film velocity reduces boundary layers to a minimum, giving improved heat transfer. The use of the long tube provides the large surface area for heat transfer because the tubes are slender long. So the surface area for heat transfer is quite improved. Because of the increased heat transfer efficiency, a small temperature gradient is necessary with less risk of damage to the thermolabile materials. And although the tubes are long, they are not submerged as in case of the short tube evaporator, so that there is no elevation of boiling point to the hydrostatic head. So these are quite advantageous. Next, come to the disadvantage part. Expense to manufacture, that is important and quite expensive. To install all the calendaria part and the entire instrument is quite high. So that is an expensive machine. Difficult to clean and maintain, definitely because of the vapor, definitely of the dissolved solids also. Scaling can occur. So if we have to time to time we have to dismantle the entire calendaria and then we have to clean all those tubes. That is regularly done in industry, but this type of evaporator has to be employed. So it is difficult to clean and maintain, and from the operational point of view, the feed rate is also critical. If it is too high, the liquor may be concentrated insufficiently, whereas if the feed rate is quite low, then the film cannot be maintained and the dry patches may form on the tube wall. This brings to the end. We have come to the end of our evaporation chapter. This is quite a vast chapter and it is comprising of three basic types of or three classified types of evaporators. Thank you very much.